Josh Duggar, a well-known figure from the reality television series 19 Kids and Counting, has recently made headlines for his legal battles. Following his conviction for possession of child in 2021, Duggar is now seeking to overturn that conviction by requesting a new attorney. This development comes amid claims that he can no longer afford legal representation, raising questions about the implications of such a request on his ongoing case. Duggar's situation highlights the complexities of navigating the legal system, particularly when financial constraints come into play. The right to counsel is a fundamental aspect of the American justice system. However, when an individual asserts they cannot afford an attorney, it opens the door to potential challenges in ensuring a fair trial. This request not only affects Duggar's immediate legal strategy but also raises broader concerns about access to justice for those facing similar circumstances. As Duggar prepares for this next phase of his legal journey, the ramifications of his decision could extend beyond his personal case. It invites scrutiny regarding how the judicial system accommodates individuals who find themselves unable to pay for their defense, ultimately prompting discussions about equity within the legal framework. With public attention focused on his plight, Duggar's request for a new attorney may serve as a catalyst for conversations about the accessibility of legal resources for all individuals, regardless of their financial status. Josh Duggar's fall from grace began with revelations that shattered both his public image and personal life. Long before his criminal conviction, allegations surfaced in 2006 that he had molested several underage girls, including some of his younger sisters. At the time, these incidents were handled internally by the family under the guidance of religious counseling rather than legal intervention. The story resurfaced in 2015, just as Duggar was serving as the executive director of the Family Research Council, a conservative advocacy group. The renewed media scrutiny forced him to resign from his position, and the scandal cast a long shadow over his family's once beloved reality TV show, 19 Kids and Counting, which was subsequently canceled. However, Duggar's legal troubles did not end there. In 2021, he faced federal charges related to possession of child pornography. Prosecutors revealed that he had downloaded illicit material using a hidden account on a home computer while working at a Walmart distribution center. During the trial, investigators testified that thousands of explicit images and videos were found on his device, many depicting prepubescent children. Despite attempts by his defense team to argue that the evidence was obtained unlawfully, the court ruled against suppressing the material. Ultimately, Duggar was convicted and sentenced to 12 years in prison, with a requirement to register as an offender upon release. The conviction marked a dramatic downfall for a man who had once been a prominent representative of conservative Christian values. His sentencing not only reinforced the severity of his crimes, but also underscored the legal system's firm stance on child exploitation offenses. Now, as he seeks to overturn this conviction by requesting a new attorney, the repercussions of his past actions continue to shape his legal battle. In his latest legal filing, Josh Duggar has asserted that he can no longer afford private legal representation, prompting his request for a court-appointed attorney to assist in his appeal. While incarcerated, Duggar is subject to strict financial regulations, and prison officials have reportedly placed limitations on his ability to manage external funds. According to his motion, any remaining financial support from his family has been exhausted, leaving him without the means to retain legal counsel capable of handling a complex federal appeal. This claim aligns with standard procedures in the U.S. justice system, where indigent defendants are entitled to court-appointed attorneys if they demonstrate an inability to pay for their own legal representation. However, Duggar's high-profile status and past financial stability complicate this request, raising questions about whether he truly qualifies for such assistance. Legal experts note that courts typically scrutinize such claims carefully, especially when dealing with individuals who previously had significant income or assets. Although Duggar's family has been vocal in supporting him publicly, his legal team must provide verifiable proof that he lacks the necessary financial resources. If the court accepts his argument, it would assign a federal defender or another qualified attorney to take over his appeal. This shift could significantly alter his legal strategy, as court-appointed attorneys often operate under different constraints than private lawyers. Additionally, Duggar's assertion of financial hardship underscores a broader issue in the justice system: the disparity between those who can afford top-tier legal representation and those who must rely on overburdened public defenders. As his case moves forward, the court's response to this request will play a crucial role in shaping the trajectory of his appeal. If Josh Duggar successfully secures a new attorney through his claim of financial hardship, it could lead to a significant shift in his appeal strategy. Court-appointed attorneys, while competent, often face heavy caseloads and limited resources compared to private legal teams. This constraint might result in a more streamlined approach to his appeal, focusing primarily on the strongest legal arguments rather than a comprehensive challenge to the conviction. For instance, Duggar's previous legal team attempted to suppress evidence obtained during the investigation, arguing that it violated his Fourth Amendment rights. A newly appointed attorney may choose to emphasize different aspects of the case, potentially shifting focus toward procedural errors during the trial or questioning the credibility of witnesses. Moreover, a change in legal representation could impact the overall effectiveness of Duggar's defense. Public defenders might lack the time or resources to conduct extensive investigations or consult expert witnesses, which could weaken the appeal's foundation. Conversely, a fresh perspective from a new attorney might uncover overlooked nuances in the law or prior rulings that could bolster the argument for overturning the conviction. Ultimately, while securing a new attorney may offer Duggar a renewed chance at challenging his conviction, the dynamics of court-appointed representation could present challenges that affect the outcome of his appeal. Court-appointed attorneys play a crucial role in ensuring that even those accused of serious crimes receive a fair trial, particularly when financial constraints prevent them from hiring private legal representation. Under the amendment, every defendant has the right to legal counsel, and when individuals demonstrate an inability to afford an attorney, the court steps in to provide one. However, the effectiveness of court-appointed attorneys can vary significantly depending on their workload, experience, and available resources. In high-profile cases like Josh Duggar's, where public scrutiny is intense and legal strategies require meticulous preparation, concerns arise about whether overburdened public defenders can mount as strong a defense as private attorneys. This issue extends beyond Duggar's case, reflecting broader disparities in the justice system. Wealthier defendants often secure top-tier legal teams capable of conducting exhaustive investigations, hiring expert witnesses, and pursuing aggressive appeals, while less affluent individuals must rely on attorneys juggling multiple cases simultaneously. Studies have shown that public defenders frequently handle excessive caseloads, limiting their ability to dedicate sufficient time and effort to each client. This imbalance raises ethical and legal concerns about whether all defendants, regardless of financial status, truly receive equal protection under the law. In Duggar's appeal, the effectiveness of his court-appointed attorney, should one be assigned, will depend heavily on the extent of their expertise in federal appeals and their ability to navigate the complexities of overturning a child conviction. The outcome of his case may further highlight the systemic challenges faced by defendants who must rely on government-provided legal representation. Josh Duggar's legal maneuver has ignited a firestorm of public reaction, with opinions sharply divided along ideological lines. Supporters of Duggar, many of whom are affiliated with conservative Christian circles, argue that he deserves a fair legal process and an opportunity to challenge his conviction. Some contend that the original sentencing was excessively harsh, citing his past rehabilitation efforts and the fact that his case involved possession rather than direct abuse. Others express frustration over what they perceive as disproportionate media coverage, suggesting that his family has been unfairly vilified. On social media platforms, certain segments of the public have rallied behind Duggar, emphasizing themes of redemption and second chances, particularly within religious communities that advocate for forgiveness. Conversely, critics view Duggar's request for a new attorney as an attempt to manipulate the legal system, given his past financial resources and the gravity of his crime. Many argue that his history of misconduct, including the earlier molestation allegations involving minors, undermines any claims of innocence or unfair treatment. Victim advocacy groups and legal experts have voiced concerns that Duggar's high-profile status